Cryptocurrency and Web3 are supposed to be a remedy to escape the control of increasingly authoritarian governments and pervasive corporations. However, there's growing evidence that the crypto space is dominated and controlled by a small handful of elite individuals and companies. There's one company in particular that seems to have a major influence on almost every high-profile company, project and protocol in the cryptosphere: Andreessen Horowitz. Andreessen Horowitz, commonly referred to as A16Z, is a venture capital company from Silicon Valley, and it has its fingers in every Web3 pie you can think of. This is Coinspiracy, and in this video, I'll reveal what the most powerful company in crypto doesn't want you to know.
It's not what it looks like.
Part 1. The problem that crypto is supposed to solve. Cryptocurrency is a technology that was created in direct response to increasingly authoritarian governments and institutions. It's no secret that government surveillance is increasing every day. One report estimates that 89% of internet users are being actively monitored. And it's not just governments, there are 3 or 4 companies that basically control the entire internet. They use powerful AI to design algorithms that decide what we can and can't see. And they're making preposterous amounts of money by selling our data, content, and attention. Cryptocurrencies and Web3 are supposed to be the dawn of a new age of the internet, where the power and ownership are taken from the hands of governments and institutions and given to the people. Web3 is a place where you're protected from institutional interference and censorship, where the users of a platform also partake in the ownership of the platform through tokens. A16Z believes Web3 is the future of the internet. Part 2. Meet A16Z. A16Z is an American venture capital firm founded in 2009 by Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz. The firm invests in both early-stage startups and established growth companies, and now has $35 billion in assets under its management.
Pick a big tech name, and chances are Andreessen Horowitz has invested in it. Twitter, Facebook, Airbnb, Coinbase, Affirm, and the list goes on.
As early as 2013, A16Z saw the potential of cryptocurrency to revolutionize the financial system, investing $20 million into Coinbase. Since then, the firm has started a number of funds dedicated to crypto investments. In 2018, A16Z raised $350 million for its first fund. In 2020, it created a second $515 million crypto fund. In 2021, it set up a third $2.2 billion crypto fund. And in January 2022, A16Z announced a $4.5 billion fund. That brings A16Z's total funds raised for crypto and Web3 startups to more than $7.6 billion US. At first glance, A16Z seems to be a hardcore Web3 evangelist. Chris Dixon, the partner in charge of the A16 crypto arm, seems genuinely motivated to accelerate this new era of the internet.
And I think we're at a point now where there's kind of 4 or 5 companies that control most of the internet. And I think that is a bad thing for a number of reasons. I think it makes the whole thing kind of less dynamic and interesting. But I think more importantly, like for creative people, if you're intermediated now by these companies who are very, very good at extracting all the money.
But don't be fooled by the rhetoric. While A16Z holds itself out to be fighting for a more open and inclusive internet that's designed to help individuals and companies, what do you really think are their true intentions? They're a venture capital firm. By raising unprecedented amounts of capital to invest in Web3 startups, their intention seems pretty clear to me: to dominate the crypto industry. Part 3. The most powerful company in crypto. With their multi-billion-dollar war chest, A16Z have been on a relentless crypto shopping spree. They have incredibly large stakes in almost every high-profile Web3 and crypto project you can think of. So let's dive into their portfolio. Coinbase is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States by trading volume. It has over 103 million verified users, and there are over $96 billion worth of assets held on the platform. A16Z led a $25 million Series B round in Coinbase in 2013, and since then the A16Z family of funds has invested in Coinbase 8 different times. In April 2021, Coinbase went public, and the share reference price set by the Nasdaq valued the company at $47 billion. An SEC filing from December 2021 reveals that all entities related to Andreessen Horowitz, including Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz as individuals, own 37% of the Class A shares, far more than any other shareholder. And to add to their influence, Mark Andreessen also has a seat on the board of directors of Coinbase. Yuga Labs is the parent company of the largest NFT projects in the space. That includes Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Apes, and CryptoPunks, and various other heavy hitters. They're also building a huge metaverse called The Other Side, which sold around $561 million in virtual land in 24 hours before crashing the Ethereum network. It's an understatement to say Yuga is by far the leader in the NFT space. A16Z led a funding round of $450 million for Yuga Labs. With Andreessen Horowitz declining to comment on its exact involvement in the project, it's unclear exactly how influential A16Z is when it comes to Yuga Labs' decision making. However, it has to be substantial. To start with, we know A16Z's general partner Chris Lyons has joined the Yuga Labs board. It isn't certain, but A16Z is also likely to hold a significant shareholding in Yuga Labs. We also know that all the investors of Yuga Labs received a 14% allocation of the ApeCoin cryptocurrency that was launched in March earlier this year, of which A16Z would have received a large chunk. Holders of ApeCoin received the right to vote in the ApeCoin DAO, which essentially decides on the direction of the ecosystem, including how they use treasury funds and which collaborations they make. That being the case, we know A16Z will have a major influence in the decisions made by ApeCoin DAO. Oh, and the company that's been tasked with building the Other Side metaverse for Yuga Labs? Well, that's a London-based startup called Improbable. Any guesses who might be a major investor of Improbable? And the Yuga Labs ecosystem isn't the only major NFT project that A16Z has a stake in. VeeFriends is a huge NFT project run by Gary Vee.
I'm grateful for everything I have. We lack gratitude. You understand that, right?
And one thing that Gary Vee is certainly grateful for is the $50 million seed round driven by Andreessen Horowitz. It's unclear what kind of control A16Z will have, but they're likely to have shares in the VeeFriends holding company. In addition to the most influential NFT projects in existence, A16Z also has major stakes in the marketplaces that they're trading on. OpenSea is the absolute kingpin of NFT marketplaces, with over 97% of all NFT trades being facilitated on its platform. Andreessen Horowitz placed a huge bet on OpenSea by leading a $100 million funding round in July 2021, and OpenSea isn't the only marketplace in which A16Z has invested. In January 2022, it led an investment round of $170 million in Autograph, an NFT platform founded by Tom Brady. Andreessen Horowitz are also pouring huge amounts of cash into the development of some of the major blockchains. In 2019, A16Z invested in Ava Labs, the lead developer of the Avalanche blockchain, and in 2021, they led a $314 million investment in Solana Labs, the developer of the Solana blockchain. To ensure their influence in every piece of the Web3 puzzle, A16Z have also heavily invested in the biggest DeFi protocols in crypto. That includes a $25 million investment in Compound in 2019 and an $11 million investment in Uniswap. These are just a few examples from A16Z's stacked portfolio, and their humongous crypto fund makes it very unlikely that their shopping spree will end anytime soon. Part 4. What A16Z doesn't want you to know. Andreessen Horowitz's messaging is all about building a better internet. They'll have you believe that their motivation for investing in crypto is to progress the development of community-owned networks, to level the playing field for developers, creators, and businesses.
And then Web3 is kind of my favorite sort of version of the movement, which tilts a little bit more toward reinventing internet services in a way in which they're owned and operated by communities instead of owned and operated by companies.
But what A16Z doesn't want you to know is the true extent of their power in this purportedly decentralized future. A16Z wants to develop community-owned networks, as long as they're one of the largest owners in that so-called community, and they want to level the playing field for developers, creators, and businesses, as long as they have a seat on the board and substantial voting power. The concern is that A16Z could use their power across their substantial portfolio to influence decision-making. To explain, let's consider some examples. And I'm not saying these examples are real and have happened, I purely want to demonstrate how voting power and influence could be used by a powerful company. Imagine you have a huge stake in a company that's developing the technology to support large-scale, interoperable metaverses. Imagine you also have considerable influence in the most successful NFT project ever that has plans to build one of the largest metaverses ever. it's feasible that you could use your influence to award that metaverse building contract to your very own metaverse building company. Imagine further. You have a large stake in a particular blockchain, let's say Solana for example. Imagine you also have influence in the largest NFT marketplace in the world, and adding Solana NFTs to that marketplace would be hugely beneficial for your Solana bags. Again, I'm not saying this has happened, I'm trying to demonstrate the potential for very powerful venture capital firms like A16Z to influence decision making so it benefits them. Decisions become biased to improve the health of their portfolio rather than what's best for the community. A16Z wants you to think that they're investing in crypto to solve the problems of Web 2 and level the playing field once and for all. However, the bigger A16Z's investments become, the more influence they have and the greater the odds become skewed in their favour. They're becoming the problem that they're professing to solve, and that they'd prefer to keep a secret. If you enjoyed the video and you're interested in more cutting-edge stories in crypto, NFTs, Web3 and finance, then go ahead, subscribe to the Coinspiracy channel. We'll be posting well-researched videos every single week.